Hello class, picking up where we left off at, we had section C finding unit rates. A unit rate is a rate with a denominator of 1. A familiar example of unit rate is 55 miles per hour, read as 55 miles per hour. This means 55 miles per 1 hour or 55 miles all over 1 hour. Note, in the context of this example, per translates to division. Example, write as a unit rate, 31,500 every 7 months. Now, if you notice here, we just take 7, divide into the 31,500, and that gives us $4,500 over 1 month, or $4,500 per month. Now, number 2, write as a unit rate. We had 337.5 miles every 15 gallons of gas. So what we would do here, we would divide 15 into 337.5, and that gives us 22.5, which would be 22.5 miles per 1 gallon, or 22.5 miles per gallon. Now, it says write each rate as a unit rate. Be sure to include units. So we would take 275 miles all over 11 hours. So now we would divide. We would take 11 into 275. 11 goes into 27 twice. 27 minus 22 is 5. We bring down our other 5. 11 goes into 55 5 times. 5 times 11 is 55, and we have no remainder. So our final answer is 25 miles per 1 hour. Or it could be written as 25 miles per hour. Now, we get over here to number 2. We have $54.24 for 13.4 gallons of gas. Now, this is what we need to do. We're actually going to need a little bit more space for this problem. Now, let me separate this from this here. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to take this 13.4 and divide it into 54.24, because we know our fraction here would be $54.24 divided by 13.4 gallons. Okay, now before we could divide this out, we need to move this decimal one place to the right here and move this decimal one place to the right. So we will have 134 divided into 542.4. We'll bring our decimal up. 134 goes into 542 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. We carry our 1. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 542 minus 536 is 6. Bring down your 4. Now we will add a 0. Well, before we add the 0, 134 goes into 64 0 times. Now we add a 0, and we'll bring this 0 down. 134 goes into 640. It's still 4 times. 4 times 134, we know is 536. And we subtract. We know 6, we cannot subtract 6 from 0, so we borrow 1 from the 4. That'll be 3. The 0 becomes 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. 3 minus 3 is 0. And 6 minus 5 is 1. So we will add 0 here. Now, this looks as though this decimal is going on for a long time. So we're going to round to 2 decimal places. So we're going to go to the 3rd decimal place and then see if we round up or keep it the same. So 134 goes into 1,040 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. We carry our 2. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 2 is 23. Carry our 2. 7 times 1 is 7. Plus 2 is 9. So we subtract. We cannot subtract 8 from 0. So we'll borrow 1 from this 4. That 4 would become a 3, and the 0 would become 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. We cannot subtract 9 from 0, so we borrow 1 from this 1, and we add 10 minus 9, which is 1. So now, we will round this off, and this will give us 4.05, and we know it's an approximation, and it would be $4.05 per 1 gallon. Now, if you notice, I did not write this in this form here. That is because more times than not, you will see answers like this. You very rarely see answers written like this. So I want you to practice writing your answers in this form here. Now, we come down here to number 3. We have $1 million lottery winnings paid over 20 years. So we'll take our $1 million divided by 20 years. So we'll take 20 into 1 million. 20 goes into 100 5 times. And we know everything else will be zeros. So this would be 50,000. So our final answer would be $50,000 per year. And that is the final answer. Now we go down here to section D, finding unit prices. Finding unit prices. A unit price, when a unit rate is money per item. So a unit price, you have the price divided by the number of units. And this is how you always do unit pricing. It's always the money divided by the units. Now we have number 1. A store charges $3.36 for a 16-ounce jar of picante sauce. What is the unit price in dollars per ounce? So we'll take $3.36 divided by 16 ounces. Now, when we simplify this, this will give us 21 cents per 1 ounce. So we will write this as 21 cents per ounce. Now, number 2. Approximate each unit price to decide which is the better buy. 4 bars of soap for 99 cents or 5 bars of soap for $1.19. So what we would do is we would take the 99 cents divided by 4 bars, because remember the dollar amount goes first. And then we would take $1.19 divided by 5 bars. And if you notice, with our money, we always round to 2 decimal places. So 99 cents for 4 bars is about 25 cents per bar. $1.19 for 5 bars is about 24 cents per bar. Now, the one with the better buy, of course, is the 5 bar package, because 24 cents is less than 25 cents. Now, number 3. It says approximate each unit to decide which is the better buy. 64-ounce Tide detergent for $6.99 or 112 ounces for $10.99. So this is what we would do. We would take our $6.99 and divide it by 64 ounces. We want to start here. So we would take 64 into $6.99. Bring up our decimal. We have our 0 here. Now remember, we have to round to 2 decimal places. So we'll add another 0 here. So 64 goes into 69 once. So that'll give us 5. We'll bring down our 9. 64 goes into 59 0 times. We'll bring down our 0. 64 goes into 590 9 times. 9 times 4 is 36. Carry your 3. 9 times 6 is 54. Plus 3 is 57. 590 minus 576 is 14. So this is approximately 11 cents per ounce. Or we could write it as 11 cents and the word per ounce. Still write it as an abbreviation, so it's per ounce. Okay, now we would do the $10.99 for 112 ounces. So we'll take 112 into $10.99. Now remember, we got to add a zero here because we're rounding to 3 decimal places. 112 goes into 10 0 times. 112 goes into 109 0 times. 112 goes into 1,099 9 times. 9 times 2 is 18. Carry a 1. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry a 1. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So we have 1,099 minus 1,008, which will leave us 91, and we'll bring down our 0. Now 112 goes into 910. That would be 8 times. So this would give us 896. 910 minus 896 will give us 14. So we have approximately 10 cents per ounce, or we could rewrite this as 10 cents per ounce. Now, the better buy, we have to write this out. The better buy is the 112 ounce bottle of Tide. And that is your final answer for that problem. I have to add in that is the better buy is the 112 ounce bottle of Tide at $10.99. And I forgot the word buy here. So the better buy is the 112 ounce bottle of Tide at $10.99.